one secret weapon. That is a tool that they use. Basically, we have a different tool per person. But because this is information, remember I spoke about intellectual capital. Because this is intellectual capital, the nice part about intellectual capital is that it can be multiplied. So we can take these 9 tools and multiply them by 9 and have 81 tools where each one of us have 9 each. So I'd like us to share that. When was the last time I had a good deal? And what do I think I did right? So that you can consciously know what you did right and repeat. We'll start with Pumlani and go all the way up to Ali. In fact, all the way up to Keza.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Just any good deal. Any good deal you would like to share that you know that you know how you did. A deal that excites you. You want to tap into the emotional capital as well. So,
Okay.
a deal that excites you.
I'd say the one for yesterday, Mr. K, because we kind of had issues to close up that deal, which is a ransom. So we had some problems in closing the deals. There were a lot of disagreements between the owner and us as agents, because we're basically working for the owner and the tenants. So I'd say it was a good one because we kind of struggled to close it, but in the end we were able to close it, and now it's fine. It's closed.
What did you do right?
Do you mind to share details?
Okay, what did I do right? I'd say consistently. I'd say the consistency. Yeah, that's how I was able to close it. Consistency, that's all.
Meaning you could consistently.
Yeah. I kind of worked hard to close it. Yeah.
Well, I just made a deal not so long ago, in the week, and the reason why it was actually a 1-bedroom property. Like the owner wanted about 7,000 rand, no, 8,000 rand rental, right? So I've been in contact with the owner and I explained to the owner, look, there is no parking, and can we possibly lower the rental, of which he did, and we did get quite a few inquiries, and we managed to close the deal. Even though it doesn't have a parking, but the owner's quite happy with the 6,000, the amount that he's going to get, because the place was standing empty for about a long time, about a year. No one lived in the property. So I think the pinch got to him, so we decided, okay, right, even to the extent he wanted like 2,000 rand electricity fee. So I contacted him, I said, look, the place has been standing empty for a long time, take the 1,000 rand, and instead of us now waiting another 2, 3, 4, 5 months or eternity and not get the property sold. So rented. So we concluded the deal. So I think it is, at times you gotta look the area that you are in and compromise with the owner and say, look, I think it's a bit too steep. Can we drop the price? Or alternatively, like bring the owner down to a level that you now think, being an estate agent, that okay, that will be suitable. Because a lot of people inquired about it, but most of them wanted like 6,000 was quite fine. You understand? I mean, it's a 2,000 drop. So the owner was so try and negotiate with the owner. If the owner wants too much, try and negotiate and say, look, I've had a few people, they're prepared to pay X amount. Would you be able to drop the price?
Great stuff.
Okay, my experience recently, in the beginning of this month, about 6th November it was, I had a client from Richards Bay, Zabia Khan. She wanted to buy 2 properties. We spoke over the phone and it was load shedding, so I waited for the next day. I phoned Keza and said to him. And then I helped her with the offer to purchase over the phone. She did everything, and then she's given me a number in Amslanga Prime Properties, which is a cousin. Why can't I speak to her and, be friends with her? That's when I realized, when I phoned her and I told her, she asked me, how did you know my cousin in Richards Bay? I said, because she wanted to buy a property, she signed a deal with me. That's a mistake I made. And then this lady from Richards Bay, her husband phoned me that afternoon, Mr. Khan. He said to me why I gave him personal information, because he didn't want to deal with family, he wanted to buy something. That's a mistake where I went wrong. I would have been through now with the 2 deals. So I'm learning as the day goes. Don't mention to a next agent what you're doing.
Personal stuff. Yeah.
Yes, I'm learning. That's what I learned. I was disappointed because I lost that. She signed everything. I still got her, but she says no. So I phoned her after 2 days to realize how it is. She says, hang on, my husband is still upset about while we phone Prime Properties. She has given me the number. So I'm learning from my mistakes where I went wrong.
Because sometimes you can make a referral and say, oh, I know so-and-so to find that they've got a family feud.
Yes,
Next thing
it's
they
a
are
family
fighting.
feud, and she didn't. Her husband didn't want me to give him the information, but then she's given me a number and I had made friends with her. But then this deal would have went through. I wouldn't have mentioned that she wants to buy a prop from Richards Bay. She was prepared to come down. She was bringing the deal over the phone. I did everything over the phone. I signed the offer to purchase. Here you go. It didn't work out. So it doesn't mean it doesn't. I'm still motivated that I can do something better. I'm not going to be sad and say, you know what, I'm not doing this again, or I'm not going to be in property. No, I'll go forward. I'll be motivated. There's something else. It was never meant for me. Something else will be meant for me. I have a positive attitude.
All right.
Okay, I can't say anything yet because I didn't deal with anything yet. So just after maybe some time, I will.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a deal in property.
Yeah.
Anything that you find it was a good deal.
The last time you had a good client or
In dance, maybe.
Yeah, what makes you feel that?
Okay. Last time I was with Zara. I think last time, yeah. We were looking for the stock. So she was trying to teach me how to get a stock on the buildings. So by the way, we went by North Beach. That was some of the buildings. Like we found another lady, the old woman, and then she was like having like, "Who are you guys? Where are you from?" But I learned one thing: each and everywhere where you go, you need to have something in your hand to say, "I'm this person. I'm that kind of a person," because no one believes you. They said, "How we can believe you who you are?" You understand? In the end of the day, if you have something in your hand, say, "I'm this so and so. I'm working for this company." So that is so important, just to introduce yourself, where you advertise yourself by you. It always depends the way you look, the way you're wearing clothes. So you need to be formally, so then you can deal with customers.
All right. Thanks.
Camera.
My first good thing that I felt really good that I've done it on my own was when I was working for Old Mutual. There was this guy who came to deliver something, and then he said his company name. Then I asked him about the thing he's doing there, are they permanent and all that. By listening, I listened to that person, then I follow directions, and then I clap a deal of the whole employees. So I made a lot of commission there. It was really nice. I was patting myself on the shoulder. And the second deal, selling to Zara, was nice as a friend. That was a nice deal because I listened to her when I first started in March. She said, "My friend, I'll have money in July. I don't have money now. I do want to have a property, but and patience." I waited. But the time when he had the money, he called me, said, "Jabu, I've got money now." That was my second deal. Yes. Yes. And then she was my first client. Then my second client just called me out of the blue. And I didn't believe that he meant what he meant because and the way he said it, and then his physical appearance wouldn't tell you that he had money. But because I was taught to respect anybody, I respected her. I even called her say, because I wanted to make a deal. I listened to him, and I called Kaiser, I said, "I've clapped the deal. He is writing." And it was like that. I didn't limit myself, or didn't do things wrong. I listening to the client, what the client is saying, and answering correctly or honest to what client is asking. That's the goal. And then maybe God is by my side. I might say I've done something big end of this week. I'm praying on it. But listening and not limit yourself, and not and confidence, and have confidence and respect.
Speaking of that, guys, listening is a powerful tool in sales. You can create a lot of wealth just by listening. Whenever people complain about something, every problem is an opportunity. They say in Chinese, in the Chinese language, the word problem and the word opportunity are synonyms. So when a Chinese person hears the word problem, and when they hear the word, I don't know whether it's Mandarin or the other language, but one of the Chinese languages, the word opportunity and the word problem. So always listen to the problem. If people keep saying, if 10 people keep saying, hey, I think it's expensive, or I think, I don't like the bathroom. You have an innovation to do. Okay, we're going to innovate on the bathroom. I wish that this building had a helicopter pad on top. Why not put a helicopter pad? So, we're sitting on the verge of innovation and creativity when we listen. The second thing is respect. Guys, respect is a tangible commodity, or rather, let me say intangible. But respect, I was telling my daughter that day, my daughter's 15, but I know kids now, they know these things. I was telling my daughter that day, I say, you know what, if you give a man, I'm going to tell every woman listening here must know. You see, if you give a man respect, you've given him the greatest thing ever. If you give a man respect, a man wants respect more than love. A man wants respect more than money. In fact, a man wants money to be respected. A man buys respect with money. So a man values respect more than money. So when you're dealing with a male client, I know everybody wants respect, but a male client will value respect far much more than anything you can ever give them. So that's another key point you did there. Give people respect. I remember when I was in other industries, what I used to do is that I used to give respect as a commodity. There's a time when I was working at SAA, the determination, what I told myself was, it was my first, customer service job. So I told myself, when I see a black client, I'm going to give them 2 times, 3 times, 4 times more respect. Because I know that a black client, at that time, when it was like 2000, that time a black client was deprived of respect. It was not common to be respected. So I would give 3 times, 4 times, and they would love you because, you're giving them something that they don't normally get. You get sometimes people will be like, probably is on a company voucher, this one, the type of mentality.
Yeah.
You give them that respect, irrespective, you see how much souls you'll win, how many hearts you win, and when you win a heart, you win a sale. So it's just to follow up on your job. Yeah, great stuff with the respect. Let's come to Prince. Prince, your last deal and what worked? Your last good deal, yeah?
For now, no deal, but I'm hoping that there will be a deal. Because better is not enough, best is yet to come. So we are praying for the best.
Outside the industry, anything that worked well and what didn't work?
Like there's a house that we have listed, but there's someone that is interested, but the offer that is given, the owner is not happy with it. So, and another client for another property, he told us that he don't like the area. So I told him that he should tell me the area that he's in it. So he told me, so I'm looking towards the direction. So that's why I said better is not enough, best is yet to come. So keep on pushing. As I said before, I'm doing this thing because I want to be an investor. So going, develop. I want to be a developer. Yeah. So I'm just building myself up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we need to hear. And yeah, let's hear you.
Well, it'll have to be my first rental that I done in September. It was originally for Esther Roberts, but a person sabotaged the deal, so it didn't go through. And I made a promise to the client that I'll find him a better place. and I did, which was Morton Hall. He was really satisfied with the place, and he had beautiful views of Moses Mabhida. And I think like the key that pulled the client towards me was communication and being honest with the person. Like when I told him about the Esther Roberts, like he couldn't get it because of how he came to the property with the guys, and the owner wasn't too pleased with that. He said no, he understands. And then that's when I promised him that I will find him a better place, and I did. So that was the main thing that motivated me to push forward.
What do you think you did right there?
Communication
Communication, meeting up,
and keeping to my word.
that you would find them a good
Yeah.
place. All right. Now the next part is Kaiser. We need to hear from Kaiser. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. For me, the best part was being with you guys. I'm actually humbled to have a team like you working with you. I just wanted to touch on one point. I was sitting in the office the other day. We were still in Overport. I was alone. Sadly, that office I was always alone. It was big and very cold. So this chap who knocked the door, I went to greet him. Didn't know him. He looked like some small boy. You just underestimate him. And I said, "Oh, are you into property? Are you selling? Do you rent house?" "Yes, that's what we do." I said, "My boss has some properties that need to be rented out." "Yes, can I please meet your boss?" That was the start of a very good relationship from meeting that one person. It so happened that the same building upstairs, there's a company that owned a number of flats. We started working with those clients. They've been loving our relationship. When I spoke to them, they told me they've been approached or they've been working with a lot of big industry players. Like I'm talking the likes of the Remax, the names that you would know, Accords and all that, Workfields, you name them. But they told me they've never had such a good relationship working with them than they have with us. And they are so happy with us. And I can tell you up to now, every time there's an apartment that's coming up, I'm the first one they call. "Kaiser, we have a new one now. Are you interested? Do you have a client for us?" You know, we've been procuring clients for them until now. Earlier just mentioned getting a property at Morton Hall. This is the same client who owns those properties. Even today, we still have stock there. So that's the business. That's the business that started in that one meeting this one person that you could have just underestimated. But we had a respect for mutually benefiting communication, and up to now we still have their business, and I think it's only gonna get better. Yeah.
Mohammed,
Yeah, it wasn't Mohammed, but it was. I think I can't even remember the face of the guy. It possibly could have been Mohammed.
whenever you go there, go
Yeah.
with me then together. You will get much more properties. That I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I know Mohammed.
Mohammed,
I know
Mohammed.
yes.
When I'm saying he said we've never had any good relationship with anyone, that's Mohammed I'm talking about.
When you
We
go there-
became very close. He's the one is actually the one who's getting me a lot of business. Yeah.
When you go there again, take me along, and then he knows me because I dealt with him before. You understand? And I lost his phone. I lost his contact with him, but he knows that I actually got tenants for him as well in the building when I was working for Prime Property. That is why I got to know him. You understand? So if he sees me with the will of God, inshallah, we will get more properties. You understand? Then I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Yeah, but I can safely say the way we are relating now, whatever stock they have, they always pass them to us. So there's nothing that they have that we don't know. So you'll tell me, okay, we have a property coming up, and say, "Hey, Mohammed, please tell me." I call him Mo. I say, "Mo, please." I said, "Kaiser, you know now."
They own that
You know
rental
now,
company,
you know.
Rentals.
Yeah. All right.
They own
So, yeah.
Yeah. can't wait for my, my story. I think with,
Alright.
yeah, with my story, I will, because I'm new in this industry, with my story, previous social media marketing. I think the best client was, I was in a neighborhood in Lazi where the social media marketing thing is not a common thing. So what I did was I just decided to go door to door. I did door to door and I would speak to, that's my strategy. I will go door to door and I will speak to every single human being that I find till I find a deal. In the previous business that I used to go, before the social media marketing, they used to call me Smudama 100. Job they used to call me Smudama 100. Because my philosophy was, in a day, speak to 100 people, so that by the end of the month, you would have made 100 sales. So imagine if you were to do 100 sales. So I would just go and speak to as many people as possible. So I walked into this other building, it was a medical center, and I'm speaking to this nurse who runs her own practice. The first time in my life that I saw a nurse who runs a practice, I didn't know nurses can practice, like just like doctors, but within, of course, their scope. And immediately she's like, I was just pitching. And she immediately was like, and where do I pay? And at that time, I thought I was still cultivating the land, the area. I didn't expect anybody to respond immediately and buy. So I thought maybe I'll have to come to clients maybe 2 or 3 times before they buy. So I was not prepared with the payment system, to be honest. So she said, so where do I pay? I was just shocked. I was taken aback. I was like, I cannot act lost. You'll start paying on the 1st. So I'll come back on the 1st to collect the payment, because the payment system was not done yet, the sitting, etc. So I think what I did right there was just to go out, speak with anyone. You do not know what response you're going to get. Speak with anyone, speak with everyone. Give yourself a target of 100 people. There's no way you can talk to 100 people and not have 10 quality leads and 1 sale. That's what I believe. You're gonna have that 1 sale. So I think that's the one thing, Jay, that I can share is that talk to 100 people. Give yourself a target of 100 people a day and see if you can have 1 sale.